Welcome to Iboothme podcast. Today we're with Ben.
Hey,
So what do you do, Ben, here?
I'm an account manager over here. Uh, Mostly work on customized solutions with our clients,
Okay.
the agencies and brands.
Yeah.
Whoever wants some creative solutions,
Okay.
so they come to us and they say, "Hey, we have this kind of a brand activation or a product launch." Yeah, I give creative.
So today we have like a subject to discuss, which is the importance of gamification for brand engagement.
Right.
You know, how many years you have been in the event industry?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's actually 18 right now.
18.
18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is how to catch the attention of the prospects, and I think gamification has it plays for the inside the event industry. So, but I mean, there is many people that they in the event industry they don't measure how. I mean, they don't know what's brand.
Yeah,
What is gamification? Gamification is a big word.
Well,
So-
in let's say for the last 18 years of my experience in the industry itself, when people were doing activations, brand launches and all, it was just showcase product and just have people around it, and there were a lot of, let's say, promoters or salespeople who were talking about these products. And I've seen the evolution where digital comes into play. And a lot of activations, such as engaging activations, like even if we talk about affordable, it's an engaging activation. I think the best thing anybody could do is bring on these activations on board to start with, because it's not necessary when you have a build-up, you're truly conveying your message to anybody. For example, if you're in a mall and you have a build-up in the middle over there, and you got your operators and promoters. Now you got to understand there are people who are introverts and all. They would just like to see it from afar. But if you can give a one-on-one engagement activation in that space.
Yeah, but why gamification is important during brand engagement? Like, I mean, what is the importance of gamification? How brands or people who work inside the event industry can get the advantage of gamification inside their activation?
Well, there are 2-3 points to it. Like, one of the first points is you're truly getting someone to be active with the brand to start with. It kind of calms or cools a person's mindset when they're engaging in activation such as gamification or so. They're so focused and relaxed. They're focused yet they're relaxed because their guard is down and they're like, okay, let me just have fun to play this game and everything. That's, let's say, when we talk about gamification.
You mean it's easier to get the intention of those prospects?
Yeah, the attention of these prospects, yes.
Through gamification. Yes. They don't feel that you're trying to market them something, right? Because
they don't see it in that manner.
They just enter inside the game.
Yeah, see, if you look at this world right now, everybody's a gamer. I mean, let's talk about, even if we talk about games that they used to play as a kid, not everybody used to have a Nintendo or so. But from the time when phones have come out, you've been having, from the 3310 Nokia, you've been having Snake Game. Everybody's been playing it for a big score, Even if you're not a gamer, you've been playing that. So everybody's a gamer. So everyone loves to be competitive.
Even now you have with this new technology, I mean, it was not in my age when I was a kid, but now you have 5 years old, 6 years old kids playing behind their iPad to this teenager playing this latest.
And what these applications do when gamification is happening, and I mean, when games you have on the platform, what do they do for brand engagement? They let ads come on it right now. If you see it, if you have games that you want to get some reward, they say, what's this ad? And it might be a product. So we're transitioning, or let's say we're translating that into an event.
Yeah, so I understand that games, you get easier the attention of your prospects
100%.
off guards because they're going to be entertained.
Yes.
Means that they're not going to think, they're going to be entertained.
Yeah.
But here is the question. I mean, we're talking about games, but any game, or I mean, the game should be personalized, or for example, should I put a PlayStation on my stand, or I understand that I'm getting the advantage of, I'm getting the attention of the prospect, but do you think that placing a PlayStation will help me to deliver my
No,
market?
no, it wouldn't.
So how?
What I would say is, what we actually even try to focus, and the reason why we even focus on it is because, first of all, we look at retro games, which has relevance to any demographic. They would see the game and say, "Hey, I've played this game once in my life at least." And then when we rebrand it, we rebrand it to what the brand is. Like, for instance, let's say the Pac-Man, we did the campaign for Fila. We had changed the characters and the assets of the whole thing, right? So it made it look like the Pac-Man character, the main character, is a Fila shoe to start with. And then that is going around to catch. So the game's name is Pac-Man, and that was about the main character. So when we created a game, when a customer is engaging with it, or prospect is engaging with it, they're getting to see the product.
So you need to personalize the game through.
100%, 100%. If you want to do it, I would say do retro games where people know how to play it, and it's not too complex a game, but it's just a competitive game, and then have that rebranded.
But you're telling me play retro game, which is, I do agree, because I do love these games. But now, if you're talking about those 16 years old kids, they have those, the game that you see on their mobile. They're very, in TikTok and this kind of things.
Yeah.
So how you can get the attention of this, I don't know, Gen Z, I don't know, every time they put a letter there, how you can get the attention of this kid? Through like Pac-Man.
See, any age, even if you talk about 16, 14, 12, any age, even if you talk about 54 or 55, 70, 80, everybody's competitive. It's all about getting the highest score. So whenever you put a game, and if it looks comfortable for them, they'll be like, I can do it to start with. And then it's all about trying to get the top score in it.
But do you think that it will be not like, I understand the competitivity, but to get their full attention, don't you think that, brands can propose trendy games, personalized trendy games, for example? I don't know, to reach those kids? Or
we are again talking about the brand. We're talking about, like, for instance, if you have a brand that is like Nike and they're launching a shoe, obviously it doesn't have a demographic for it, or maybe they do have a set of people they're looking at. Let's say if they are launching one of the Jordans or so, it's something where you get in different sizes, so every age is available for it. So then you have to consider a game that talks to everybody. When you're doing an activation, you would have to have a game which talks to all demographics.
Everybody, all demographic, except if, for example, you do an event, I don't know, especially, sorry, I'm insisting about teenager, especially for teenager who want, and the brand, let's say it's Nike. They want to promote their new shoes for those like 17 to 20 years old.
Right.
So don't you think it's like more relevant to do a trendy game for
100%. 100%. If it's focused on a certain demographic, then I would say a trendy game that's going viral and everything is what we need to. Like, for instance, I think there are these games where you swipe right, left, you destroy a couple of things, and then you grow your army and you keep going down. These are games which are quite trendy right now on the mobile and everything, iPad also. So these are games which
I think, to be honest with you, gamification is, if you ask me, something very interesting, because you are getting the full attention of your prospects.
100%. Well, what do you think? What kind of games do you think that like you're talking about this age group? Like, do you have any games in mind? Like, do you have something in mind? Like, what kind of games we are talking about to have in it? Because for me, what I see it is any game that's available in the mobile,
do you have like just we're talking about this, but some example, like, I know you're taking care about the gamification for your international clients,
right?
So what is, I can say, the project that you remember the most in gamification, and how did it help? How they approached you, which solution you proposed, and how was the impact, clearly?
Oh,
If you have a like clear example,
well, I'm not going to name brands and agencies right now,
okay.
but what I can say is,
Or you can say the. I mean, it's.
I can tell you the
It's a
solution.
shoes if you want. Yeah, but
Let's just say it was a brand that was focused on promoting the Euros, and they wanted people
the football,
who were,
right?
yeah, for
Okay.
the Euros, which just happened, and what they wanted was they wanted people. We're not talking about the people at the stadium, but we're talking about the lounges and the bars and everything. They wanted people to come and engage, to interact with the brand by playing some gamification and win something at the end of it, right? Like maybe it's a scratch and win or based on the score that you make. So what we came up with the concept is we do penalty shootouts, but not just shoot, but we also had them to defend it also.
A game, right?
A game.
Okay.
So they scan the QR code, they register themselves, a page comes up to say how to play the game, and then they choose their favorite team, and then they shoot. They shoot, then they be the goalkeeper also to stop the ball. And if they have won the game, they get a voucher or so to go and redeem it at the bar itself.
How many plays have you?
Since it was in 32 locations and
32
locations, and we ran it through the whole campaign of the Euros. We touched more than 150 in that whole month, 150,000 people.
150,000 people.
So that much of data collection was there. And that's another great thing about something where you have a reward.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Plus 100,000.
Yeah. And the data is quite true because, when you have gamification with a rewarding system, people tend to put the right data in it.
You know what makes sense also? I mean, it was the Euro football.
Correct.
You activate it in the bar. People are going in the bar. They're going to watch, obviously, most of them, let's say, the match. And you are going through what they want.
Yes.
It's football. So you propose a football game.
Right.
So which is like really, really interesting. But you are telling me that using mobile, but the game, can we place it somewhere else or it should be just mobile? I understand that 32 locations, you cannot have 32 screens.
This was let's say it in this manner. The reason why we did it as a web app and not as a physical structure in one of these, in all these locations, because we want everyone to be able to play for it, not queue up for it. While a match is going on, you rather have, while a match going on, you can't expect them to leave the match or the table and stand and wait for their chance to play on a game. That's the reason. It is the situation and the dynamics of this event and the way they want to go about it. The best way to go about it was having it as a web app.
But we can place it on touch screens? Or
you can put it on a touch screen. You can have it on any of our booths or any of our hardwares that we have.
Vending machine.
Right.
Or the arcade machine you're proposing now.
And the Iboothme X also, we can have it. But the thing I want to say is the way we have created hardware over here, it is to fit into any kind of event. Like, for instance, we have the vending machine. The reason why we do gamification on that is something which is loved and adored by brands, beauty products. Beauty products are the people who actually adore that.
Indeed, yes. But I think that, project managers and brands for the brand activation, I think they understand more and more the need of proposing like gamification games. But I think there's two things that, the first thing they're afraid about cost, because they think creating game is like quite expensive, which is true, which is what's available in the market. And the second question that some of my friends working on brand activation, they say, but which type of game? So the loss between what can we propose according to the age, the category, and this. For example, I have a perfume. What can I do? I have that budget. I cannot cross, so I will not go in gamification. But they understand that gamification is. Everyone is behind his mobile playing.
Right.
So, what about the prices? What about also the ideas? To make it short, how a brand can find an idea about which kind of game to develop and to have like a fair price?
I believe if if a brand wants to launch an event, and if it's a product launch or so, and they want to do gamification, I think before even putting a price to it, they should have a discussion with us, with our creative teams also, the do's and the don'ts. And we can kind of point out what are the pros and the cons if we do this type of a game A or game B. What are the pros and the cons? And how can this be something that can be fruitful for you? See, at the end of the day, when we look at any of the products, when we even develop any of the hardware and where we can have gamification, we look at what is the ROI the clients are looking for. Is it for social media exposure, or is it for just product engagement, or is it just to play a game so you can receive the product? So like an earning system, you engage with the brand and you earn one of the samples or so. So there are different methods of looking into it, right? And so as long as the brand knows what they truly are trying to get out of this event,
but you can propose some solution. About
100%. Like for instance, for example, let's talk about the arcade machine, right? The arcade machine, we've done having a vending machine added to it. So obviously they can get gifts and products come out of it after playing. Now we can even set it with score system. If you score between like 0 to 100, you get gift type C. And let's say 101 to 200, you get gift type B. And anything above that, you get like the premium gift, which is like gift type A, you know? We can do that system. But also what we've done for the arcade machine is also attach a web camera, which can record. And so we can give a social media content sent.
Which is important.
Which is important because I believe when brands are spending money in for hardwares and all, such as us for engagement solution, they're not only looking for the experience, but they're looking for social media content. Something that can be spoken about on social media, which in this world, as we speak, you know, things sell if you discuss online. On Instagram or something, if you have discussions, if there are posts, things go viral or not, the discussion and the quantity of the discussion that happens and, you know, the engagement with those posts also does get sales done, you know.
What is the mistake that brands or project manager do with gamification during their events? I can see one.
Oh, what do you see? What do you see?
Well, they want to do gamification. They just buy a game in the market and put it and connect it to the TV. In the TV, they say, for them, this is gamification. They play.
No, but that's like putting a kids. That's like
no, I mean this is gamification. But I think you know something that people they need to understand is the psychology during gamification, which is like an interesting means that. By plugging, like for example, how they call it now, it's not FIFA anymore.
FC 25.
FC 25. Okay, you're putting like a football game, and you have like an event around football, let's say. Okay, you are not getting any benefits.
No.
So I think like by personalizing the game with your own words, they are entering inside your brain in terms of in psychology.
Correct.
So you're delivering your marketing message. They're entering inside your marketing message. So the mistake that I see is that non-personalizing the game and putting any game.
So when you
because it needs a certain plan, a psychological plan, how to develop. So the question is how
it's not brand focused. When you do such a thing where you're just plugging in a PlayStation and you're telling people, hey, come play PlayStation at a build-up, it is not brand engagement.
How to develop
unless you're selling FC25.
How to develop a game that will deliver our clients' marketing message. So this is the question through gamification, because unconsciously, without any conscious, they will enter inside your world.
Right.
Because there's no barrier, there is like entertainment.
Right.
So they will enter so there means that they're ready to accept anything in their psyche,
right.
in their brain, and this is where the work starts.
Right.
This is where it's kind of manipulating people, right? Because there is no barrier, and they enter inside your world, and inside this, through gamification, you can talk to them.
Yeah.
with their own language. It's not manipulation.
Well, marketing is manipulation at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There are themes and concepts like front of thought. We keep showing you branding all over, and you keep seeing it that when it comes to a time, you probably don't need to buy a phone right now. But if you keep seeing the billboards which show the new launch of a particular phone, at the time when you want to buy a new phone, what would you do? That's the first phone that comes in your head. So marketing is manipulation. Honestly speaking, it's a craftsmanship if you can actually manipulate to make them to make decisions.
I think it's very easy to manipulate people through gamification. So it's very easy to deliver your marketing message to manipulation, which is like very, very
and
interesting.
the reason why I talk about old school games and retro games is because, when you talk about gamification, you want to attract somebody onto the premises. The first thing is it should be a comfortable game. It should be something they are related to, relevant to. You talk about the new generation, that's one thing, but a game that talks to all generation would be the old school games also, right? So when we talk about the old school games like Pac-Man or Snake or Donkey Kong also, for all I know, Road Rash, any of these kind of games, Temple Run, Candy Crush, all these kind of games, everybody has a comfort to it. Everybody has a comfort to it. That when they see it, they're like, hey, I know how to play this game. I've played it before. Let me give it a try.
Fine.
That's the first part of it, I believe.
Yeah.
Now, when it's branded and customized, so that is where you can get the product into that.
So we can take an example, for example, an extreme example. You are watching a YouTube video, let's say, you're greedy enough not to take this YouTube premium, and while you're watching like an interesting documentary or whatever, boom, suddenly you have an advertising.
And mostly it's about a game. Yeah.
I mean, there is an advertising.
Yeah.
And you don't want that advertising to happen. So what most of people they do, they reject. They skip it.
Yeah.
So, but gamification, you let the brain of your brain to enter inside this game, and while you deliver. So I think it's a smoother process in terms of delivering rather than. I took the YouTube example, but it can be someone stopping you in the stand, spraying you perfumes. Correct. Or trying to sell you something while you are doing your grocery. So it's going against your... But also one point which is important in gamification, because we're talking about psychology. So I understand that they will play the game, they will win. And when they will win, they will have this excitement of achievement.
Yes, but, especially when you have a leaderboard and everything.
But what about if they lose? It cannot go in a negative way, like you're approaching my brand, you are playing, and you are losing.
Well, there is no losing, right? It's not like if you're winning and you're losing. You're not winning. But what brands do nowadays, especially with the kind of products we have, also where we encourage giveaways with, like I mentioned, if someone scored between like 0 to 100, meaning the lowest score you got. You're still getting a reward. That reward system is something that works really well. So it's all about the engagement. Come play to win something. But the better you play, the better a product you get from us. So that's the whole thing. It has a rewarding system also to it.
So everyone is a winner in the end.
Yeah.
So this is what you're trying to do.
Tell me one thing. I want to ask you, like the arcade machine. Why did you want to build the arcade?
The arcade machine?
Yeah.
Well, why?
I mean, it's got the look of an arcade machine. So when you wanted to build it, why did you build it? I mean,
because I personally have been working in technological brand activation since like years, and my job is to get the attention of people, and for me, there's no better way than games.
True.
And then, I have been working also with this vending machine.
Right.
People, they love receiving gifts, free samples, free things. So what's better than merging gamification and gifts? So this is why this is the bet, because this is how I try to do. But me, for example, I have a big, if you ask me, gamification is the next things for brand engagement. And plus we didn't also speak about the AI. gamification, AI and gamification is going to merge together. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Last time we have proposed like a game where you scan your face and you become the character of the game.
Oh yeah, the game which is that the astronaut
game.
Yes.
And I don't know how it will be in the future, but I think the AI has a big place for games. Let's see how it will be.
I mean, in the market right now, I think it's Nvidia who has spoken about, creating games with AI itself, where it's run on the basis of AI itself. But yeah, there's still a lot of space for it. There's a lot of space for it as of now. Exciting though, exciting times.
Yeah. Have you heard about the Zeigarnik effect? The Zeigarnik effects.
No, you probably need to elaborate.
Okay, I'm using ChatGPT for that. So people are naturally curious and they hate leaving things incomplete. The Zeigarnik effect states that unfinished tasks are most likely to stay in person's minds. Means that if an individual go and play a game and he knows that he needs to reach a certain stage, they cannot leave that games or this game will stay inside their brain until it's finished. Yes. Means that, to be the last sentence, it means that when someone will interact with your game, play with your game, intentionally in their brain, they would need to finish that stage of the game. So you are, in a way, literally entering inside their conscious. You see how powerful?
No, I know what you mean. I mean, I game myself, so I know if I don't complete something,
you don't sleep.
Yeah.
You don't sleep. So this is what gamification will do for your brand.
This year of 2024.
Oh yeah.
Gamification has been on the rise for us. I mean, we saw it coming, I think, mid-year onwards. I mean, we've been having gamification inquiries coming in on and off, but in the last 6 months, we've been seeing a lot of that coming in. So do you think we should focus on more products related to gamifications and solutions for that? Or what's your thought on that?
I think that we should focus on, I think we already have the units. I don't think we'll not invent like a new kind of arcade where people can play, but I think that gamification will have more and more, we will have more and more demand around it. But still, people, they think that game is expensive. They thought, because I'm into development, so I know what's development, I know what's the cost of development, I know what's the cost of development team, designers, etc. But if you're not in the field, you say, man, it's going to be bloody expensive, So, but we spoke about gamification through digitally, but you can also have physical gamification, for example. I don't know, like the goal wall that we did in Qatar, and so there's also physical gamification. It's the same things, challenge.
Yes, it's a yes.
So I think the merge, the digital gamification plus physical gamification,
like a hybrid gamification solution,
or like, for example, if you have physical activities, you will register, you will do push-ups, it will count the number of push-ups, pull-ups,
right?
And so
it's probably you will kill it, but
definitely I will. I have been training for that, waiting for that. So I think for me, to be honest with you, gamification make a lot of sense for me.
No,
in the easiest way, you are getting
very exciting when the queries come for
attention. You are getting attention of people, and gamification does this.
Absolutely.